Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
You ever get a hunch in sports?
Yeah, and then I correct my posture.
He gets a hunch in his back.
Hey.
He's got a bad back.
All right.
It's getting better.
How would you say, Jesse and Steve, how would you rate your gut feeling on sports? Like something like your premonition.
It's usually unfettered dread. And it's often correct.
Well, if you're good at predicting, you might want to try Betway, the sports betting app that backs you to trust your sports instincts. If that sounds like you, opt in to the Betway Parlay Club today to earn $10 in free bets. When you place $25 or more on sports multiples or bet builder bets with at least 3 selections, you're going to receive $10 back in free bets. This offer is available every week, so head over to Betway and bet your way. Steve, what's your premonition?
Your team is going to win.
I got a new slogan for them.
What is it?
Betway. We're gut healthy.
Must be 19 years of age or older to play. Please play responsibly.
If you got what you wanted in Steve Dangle NHL world,
Leafs win the cup.
where the referees called all of the infractions that happened on the ice. So if a team like the Jets, who are not as skilled that night as the Leafs and are committing a bunch of infractions because they have to do that to stay in the game, if the refs called all of those penalties, do you think the players would pull back and commit less infractions and we'd have a cleaner hockey game? Or would we see a situation where we're just on a bunch of power plays?
It would start that way. It would start that way. And I still vividly remember, like, oh, fuck. There were some players who were sort of on the back nine of their career. And the second the 2005 preseason started, they were cooked.
Mm-hmm.
They were cooked. Brian McCabe was really interesting because, like, he was cooked defensively, but the rules actually helped him offensively. Aki Berg, was it Berg or Belak? Or maybe it was both of them because they were on a pair together briefly. I remember him getting a penalty in front of the net and literally just throwing his hands up like, I don't get these new rules. I don't understand them. And yeah, there was going to be pain. There was going to be a learning curve. But now, because they didn't stick to it, we have to do it again. Or, no, we don't. So it's up to the NHL. In my perfect world, you do go through those growing pains for the betterment of the sport. But you can't start now.
Right.
On April
obviously.
Fool's Day. Like, you can't start at the beginning of April. You got to start preseason next year.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to put out memos. You got to let the CHL know, let the AHL know, the ECHL know. This is how we're calling games now. And the way you call them in October needs to be reflected in how you call them in the spring. I just don't think they're going to do that.
Does it make for a worse product, a worse TV sport if guys are playing cleaner? Like, you know, is there so much appeal in hockey about the intensity of the game and the aggressiveness of the players? Do you see some pushback? Like, okay, we start off that season, say it's coming out of the next lockout, the next strike that's going to happen in 2026. So we come at it, we're in 2026. They say we're going to change the rules where we're calling everything. Every little infraction is an infraction. We're calling it. There's no discretion from the refs on narrating the game now. And people start looking at, we're a month in, and they're like, you know what? This isn't as fun.
Okay.
Do they concede and go back?
Jesse.
Yeah.
All right, Adam's not here. This is when you and I briefly talk about mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Together. This seems to happen on a lot of kids' table episodes.
Love some good UFC talk.
Wouldn't UFC be better if you were allowed to kick your opponent in the balls?
No.
No, so we agree there are some things you can't do.
Yes.
You can't scratch,
Yeah.
can't pull hair, can't hit in the balls, you can't bite.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain elbows you're not allowed to do, and those are maybe a little bit silly.
Mm-hmm.
There is a line. There's a line in everything. So I want hitting still. I still want hitting. Simmons gave a big hit, and I went, ah! And then someone hit him, and I went, oh. Like, the part of what made the Bruins game so good is Kyle Clifford gave, and Kyle Clifford took. Like, from Pasternak, and Charlie McAvoy was out there. in the last few days, like over podcasts and LFRs, did I complain about Charlie McAvoy once? No. Those hits were fine. They're totally fine.
But you complained about JT getting cross-checked in the head because you can't
you
do that.
do
You can't do that. But the McAvoy hit, it's a clean hit.
What
you can do that.
The law? Like I feel like I'm on TikTok here. Like again, it's don't you want this in the sport and that in the sport? Yes. What the? You're not allowed to do these things. Like I feel like I'm talking to a child, not you. Like
No.
every time we have these conversations, I feel like the side that wants hockey to be more like the way it was, and I understand it. Like we're talking about, friends of the show, right? I feel like they often in these situations put words in my mouth and words in the mouths of people who want to penalize things more and take things out of the game more. Oh, so you don't like this? When did I say I don't like this? So wait, okay, let me put words in your mouth. You endorse elbows to the head?
No, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Will you endorse slaps to the face from behind, cross checks to the arm, cross checks to the neck, cross checks to the teeth, kneeing a guy? Like I'm not sitting here and Jason Spezza should be able to knee Neil Pionk in the face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We don't defend moments like that.
No, I was like, I saw that and I was like, Jason, what the fuck?
You deserve your 6 games.
Yeah. And
4, it got brought back
got
into.
Yeah, that's another one. Like they when was the last time the NHL went to an appeal and okay, your 6-game suspension is now 10.
Yeah,
they got to do it once just to put the fear of God in all these players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nino Niederreiter appealed a 2-game suspension. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was upheld.
Yeah. It's a 2-game suspension.
Take your 2 games.
Take your 2 games. What the? Dude, you're not even going to lose conditioning.
I guess he wanted the check. 2-game checks is still that's money.
Nino.
He wants it. It's still money.
Well, you shouldn't have done what he did.
Crime.
You shouldn't have done. Listen.
I worry about the growing pains because I know how impatient hockey fans are, how impatient the media in particular is with something like that. And when the wholesale change of National Hockey League refereeing comes, because I think the reckoning is going to come with the amount of energy that's been spent on it this year. And we're going to get into Lars Eller and Jesper Kotkaniemi in a second here. But with the amount of energy that's been spent on refereeing this season, I think a change got to come, even if it's next CBA negotiations 5 years or 4 years from now, And I just worry about the growing pains of people not enjoying the product that first month of the season when they try and make the change. And hopefully we can all just push through it. I worry about people's abilities to push through.
It's like any chore that you leave too long. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it would have been better if you did it before. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't like doing laundry. But you know what happens when I leave it for a week? It gets worse.
I don't want to lose fans. I don't want the older generation to be like, I miss my game. I don't want to lose those guys. They're still important to the hockey community.
They already say that, Jesse.
That's true.
They already say that. Like the NHL, like what if it's okay that they make some sacrifices on account of their like generally last in most markets?
Should I not care? Should I just be like, okay, just make the changes, and if we lose people who hate the new product, whatever, at least we're better in the end for it. I guess that's where we should look at how we should look at it. We make all these changes, and in the end, we're better for it because the game is called on a more fair basis.
I just feel like I'm not asking for the sun and the moon here.
I feel like you are.
Yeah?
I'm asking for it too. I feel like what we're asking for is like so far gone from where hockey wants to be. I think the referees, the players, they understand the narrative stance of the game where the refs dictate how it's going to go and what they're going to call and how infractions that aren't infractions don't get called and all those things. I think for us asking them to change that is a whole big ask. It's a lot.
What if it's incremental? Like, okay, let's take a look at the 4 things that I highlighted as non-calls.
Mhm.
Okay, Paul Stastny hits Justin Hall in the head while he's down. I mean, you'd like to take hits to the head. This is the problem. I'm having trouble selecting them because they're all not allowed. Pierre Engvall, you can chalk up as a missed call. Those are going to happen. Okay, fine. Yes,
Also,
he was looking straight at it, but
I don't know. What's the rule on hits the head if a guy's on his knees?
you're not allowed to hit them in the head.
But if
You're never allowed to hit a guy
if
in the
he's
head.
going at a player and the player falls to his knees and the body hits the person's head hits your elbow or whatever.
Right, so
you know?
there's judgment there.
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
he have time to change course? Was it intentional? Was the player injured?
I just don't want people to pick on you for that one in particular when there's
No.
like 3 other egregious ones, you know?
Like, I'm not dumb enough to look at what Stastny did to Hall last night and what Spezza did to Pionk and be like,
Yes.
these are the same.
Right.
They're not.
Mm-hmm.
But like, can we mutually agree? Like what Dubois did to Kerfoot probably shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we even do Heinola cross-checking Bunting in the head?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with Dubois because it's a combination knee-elbow. Turned himself into Gumby to hit Kerfoot to get a piece of him because Kerfoot was going to friggin' pants him.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to blow right by him. That's the one I want to get rid of first. Heinola, it's a cross-check. They already said they're going to crack down on that. LOL. It, I think, hits Bunting in the upper back and rides up. He needs to have control of his stick. But if we're going to take them one at a time, what's wrong with taking out what Dubois did?
Right.
Targeted blows, predatory blows. Can we start there? Predatory blows to the knee and face. Oh, well, he barely connected. Well, he connected. Or how about this? What if he missed but tried?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be.
Well, if you miss, then it's okay.
Oh, it's perfectly fine.
That's the thing with these hits. If you don't connect, it's fine. Who cares about your intent?
If I go into a store with a knife and I say, give me all your money, and then I go, never mind, and I walk out, I'm still probably going to jail for something. I just don't know exactly what.
Yeah, you didn't rob a store.
I did not rob a store,
No.
Your Honor. I walked out of there. Yeah, but you also went into a store with a knife.
I think
so,
an even easier place to start might be with the tripping calls. Because it seems like even on the Matthews one, when it was do you remember when he's coming on, they scored the 3-on-3 OT goal where Matthews got hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even that wasn't called. Regular tripping calls that refs look at, like I'm 2 feet away from you right now, and refs will see a tripping call and they'll be like, okay, we can't call that. You know, even starting there where we have these egregious fouls, they call those. You know,
Mhm.
that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
I think.
Again, I just don't. I'm not, dude. I love a feisty hockey game.
Mhm.
I do. And are some players going to get a little more timid? Yeah, probably. The sport adapts. It always adapts.
All right. I think we're asking for a lot here.
So there's me asking for a little. Please stop elbowing players in the head.